players have graduated 2.5 years before. Just how difficult was that for you, and what do you think that says about your ability to kind of master football, especially at the center position where there's so much of the mental part of the game so important?
I think it was definitely challenging, but I think the academic people we have here really set me up to really help me out whenever I needed help, and it's been a really good experience for me just working with them to try and do the best. And I think when it comes to football, I mean anytime you can take on information and try and transfer that and learn a lot of new systems and a lot of new offenses and new schemes, I think it really helps. And I think it helps because you can kind of explain it to the young guys in a way that helps them if necessarily they aren't catching along as fast.
Josh Moore.
I'm thinking having that time too for you, having to learn a new offense now. How just how nice is that to be able to kind of focus a little bit more on that, and how is that transition going? How would you assess how that's going? Quintin?
I think it's been going well. There's ups and downs with it all because it's a lot of new stuff, but I think it's been really exciting for everybody. I think for me particular, I mean, it's just a good way to test where you're really at and what you do well and what you can grow at. And I think overall it's going to be a really good growing experience for me along with the rest of the offensive line, and I think we're all really excited.
John Clay.
And not only you learn a new offense, but you're being coached by new guys, both as position coach and offensive coordinator with Coach Cohen. What's that like, and specifically, what's it been like to interact with Coach Cohen?
When it comes to Coach Cohen, you can feel the energy he brings to the building every day. He's just as excited as we are to put in all these new things. You hit a big play during practice, he's jumping down, celebrating with everybody else, just like we are. And when it comes to Coach Wolf, he really gets on you, but it all comes from a place of love, and you can tell that it's tough love, and he's always trying to get you better on and off the field, and he still wants to keep a lot of those attitude things that Coach Schlarman instilled in us when he was here, and so it's been really good. I think everybody's really getting along and liking him.
Larry Vaught.
Quentin, just wondering, what made you want to push yourself so hard to be able to graduate in 2.5 years? Was there ever a time you just thought, maybe I'll just ease back and let's just do it in 3 years or something?
I think one thing that was really important when I decided to come here was my education, and my mom would have been really she wouldn't have been happy if I tried to take it easy off the field and just tried to focus solely on the field. So for her, she wanted to push myself and on the field, off the field, and I think it really set me up to go pursue some other opportunities after football, and I think that's really important. Just trying to grow as a whole person and not just as a football player.
Josh Moore.
Quintin, what is the toughest? What has been the toughest thing, mate? Because you've learned you're under a guy that's done this for a while, and under an offense that's a little bit different now. What's been the toughest thing to pick up?
It was difficult at first to get a lot of the new communications in. We've been here for 3 years and some change, and I think you get so used to calling certain blocks certain things, and when you get out there, you see them as that, but you also realize that you have to communicate differently, and it's just a step in the right direction. It takes a lot of reps and a lot of work, but I think we're getting it down, and I think things are going well.
Lonnie.
Quentin, I don't know how much of a historian you are as far as past players in football programs, and I just focus on this program in particular. Over the last 8 years or so, with John Choate, I don't know if you know anything about him, but then I know you know about Drake, but anyway, it's been about 8 years of constant top-notch center play. So how much pressure do you put on yourself, or do you know anything about those individuals who put that kind of pressure on yourself? I know you're trying to learn to be the best you possibly be. How would you answer that?
I don't take it as too much as pressure. I think it's kind of the expectation that was set for not only at center around here, but for every position. I think everyone has pushed me to try and be top notch in every area, and those guys that came before me, they really set the example, and I've got a chance to learn a lot from Drake over the past couple years, and I think it's really helped me. Every once in a while when I'm struggling with something, I can reach out to him and he'll help me out, and we'll bounce ideas back and forth off of each other, and I think that's been a really good relationship for me to have, and I just want to keep up the expectation that everybody has around here for good center play.
Adam,
Hey Quintin, Liam talked about cadence for you all this year. How different is adjusting to that? And he's thrown out playbook a lot. Is the new playbook, is it about the same? Is it deeper, more detailed? What's that adjustment been like for the new offense?
The cadence is interesting, just some ups and downs. Tweaks here and there, who actually calls the play and who actually snaps the ball. That's changed, but I think things have been really helpful for us to, go through it and get out on the field and really work on it and rep through it. The playbook, they've added some new stuff. They've kept some old stuff, and I think, we're really trying to hammer in the new stuff and make sure we have that down before we get into all the stuff that we've run a lot of coming back into the offense. But, ups and downs, and you just take it one day at a time, and I think we're just pushing in the right direction.
John Hale,
When you talk about how graduating early gives you some opportunities outside of football too, just what are those opportunities you're interested in? What kind of master's degree are you going to pursue now?
I'm pursuing my MBA in business, and I really want to try and set myself up for after football, where I can be my own boss someday, and I think setting myself up with that and building relationships with a lot of the faculty here in the upper level systems, I think that'll really help me after football and set myself up for a career that whether it's in football or out of football, I can still benefit and live a really good life.
Curtis,
There's been a lot of talk about Marquand McCall. How are you guys matching up in practice and making each other better?
I've been going against Marquand for a long time now, and he definitely presents his challenges. But he's done a really good job. He's done a really good job this spring trying to be disruptive as we're trying to learn all these new things. But every once in a while, as an O-line, we get him. It's not just him running all over us too. We get him too. I know he'd hate to admit it, but we all just a lot of competition. I think that's been really good for us. We're making him better. He's making us better, and a lot of people. If you can block Marquand, you're confident you can block anybody in this league.
Josh,
Quintin, there's been some talk about the shotgun versus under center stuff. What's the biggest difference there, or is there much of a difference snapping the ball that way?
It's a lot of comfortability. We've done shotgun here a lot in the past, so obviously we're all more comfortable. And nowadays, not as many people are under center, and it takes a lot of reps. But we spend a lot of time as centers and quarterbacks. We get together outside of when we actually have practice, and we meet up and just try and work on those things and get everybody's steps down and everybody on the same page, so we can eliminate easy mistakes.